Hi, and welcome to the podcast for Solomon Staircase Masonic Lodge number 357, where we talk about all things related with Freemasonry, including Hermetic teachings, philosophy, reason, spirituality, and much more. We're located in Buena Park, Southern California. Tune in as we continue to update our podcast with informative talks and articles for Masons worldwide and those who would like to inquire within.
Thank you for downloading this episode of our podcast. All right, it's been a while and there are good reasons for it, but we are back. This would be season 7, and here it is, 2025, 7 years of doing this podcast. Some years much more productive than others with 50, 60 episodes, and some years with 5 or 6 episodes. So it's June 21st, 2025, and we're going to pick it back up and see if we can start getting caught up. There's tons of material I have. There's lots of stuff that's been written since then. So let's dive right into it. So we're going to start with the February 2023 Trestle Board, which focused on secrecy. The Master's article. As your Master for 2023, I'd like to hear from you. Send me a note at john.mccarger@gmail.com if you have any comments, concerns, or questions at all. We have around 170 brother members, many of whom are out of state, many who are possibly unable to attend Lodge. But either way, drop me a note and tell me how you are doing or offer some words about your journey at this stage in your life. I'd love to hear from you. The theme this month is secrecy, an important topic throughout the history of the craft. The picture insert of the figurine, with index finger pointed close to his lips, appears to be a gesture to remain silent. Perhaps the depiction also hints at a finger pointed heavenward, as if to also suggest silence and reverence are combined to express the virtue of both. The ideal of secrecy forms a basis for protecting or even perpetuation of our Masonic domain or body of knowledge. But what's the big deal about that? Many are or have been hostile to our fraternity. Here's a quick summary of why we have a need for maintaining secrecy. Freemasonry stands against oppression and totalitarianism. It is non-sectarian, yet abhors atheism and promotes religious belief. It proposes free thought and free conscience for determining the truth. It has spiritual rituals that can be the subject of ridicule or mockery. It has no religious dogma, yet invokes the blessings of deity. It has been seen as a conspiracy or prejudicial by the profane historically. Freemasons can be and have been the target of violence. Seeks improvement in all human affairs through a select brotherhood. Tolerates diverse philosophies in the exposition of truth. Science and religion go hand in hand. And it stands against ignorance, fanaticism, corruption, and hate. These are some of the bigger reasons. Our modes of recognition and ritual details are lesser ones, but just as important, if only for reverence in what leads to sacredness and respect for what is good and true among men. Tell me what you think. John McCarger, Master. From the West. A human being living alone at negative 71 degrees Celsius in the wilderness of snowy forests isn't affected by any secrecy. Or is he a part of one? In theory, secrecy and openness are mutually exclusive, meaning they can't exist at the same time, just like war and peace. In the information age we live in, anything that brings criticism or vulnerability is termed to have been engulfed in secrecy or layers of it. Esoteric may or may not be a secret, but a secret might be esoteric or it loses its definition. Does that make sense? Does secrecy breed incompetence? Of course it does. Maybe that is why it should be handled by the initiated and or chosen few, and not just by anyone with a pulse. To avoid dire consequences, secrecy acts as a shield. Ask an electrician the meaning of insulation that protects him, but only a trusted man well trained in the craft deserves that protection. The universe itself holds secrecy. Colors don't announce the outcome when mixed. Greek, Roman, Egyptian, and Babylonian civilizations came and went away as time and tide wait for none. The society we live in has been destroyed and rebuilt many a time with the added knowledge that demands secrecy. The attentive ear receives sound from the instructive tongue, and mysteries of Freemasonry are safely lodged in the repository of faithful breasts. Freemasonry itself has withstood the tide of changing times because of the respect for the esoteric and the eyes that are upon its members. The goodness of heart and purity of intention keep the tenets of our esteemed institution sacred and solid. The burdens and responsibilities that come with it entitle a Freemason to its benefits and privileges. Being classified is what makes them want it more, or more will want it, therefore keeping it classified. This is the secrecy we must all deal with. Elite clubs do have their limitations. Shivam Sharma, Senior Warden. Editor's note: can you keep a secret? Are you keeping Masonry a secret? If so, why? Times have changed from when it was a big secret that our fathers, grandfathers, uncles, and other men in our lives would go to lodge but never say anything about it. All that would be said or known was that so-and-so was going to lodge. Maybe there was the occasional pancake breakfast or other social event, but not much else was said about it. It was something he did, and he was a good man, so there must have been something to it. That alone was enough to drive some to Masonry, knowing what a good man their role model was and that he was a Mason. For others, it wasn't enough. How many good men never became Masons because of the secrecy that was practiced in the past? That's a question we will never know the answer to, but that is changing. You've heard we are not a secret society, but a society with secrets. That's true to an extent. Everything we do and say can be found online. You just don't know which are true and which are made up until you actually become a member. So I know you're thinking, come on man, spill the beans. What are the secrets? Give me a hint. Okay, here's a few of our not-so-secret secrets. We meet in a lodge room, in a lodge, and a group of brothers makes up the lodge. We perform rituals, and you're going, oh my God, I knew it. A ritual can be anything that is done consistently the same way. You wake up, take your shower, brush your teeth, get dressed, always in that order. That is your morning ritual. You greet your BFF with an insult, a slap on the back, and a big hug. That's a ritual. You go to church and stand up and sit down at certain parts. That is a ritual. Get it? It is just a consistent way of doing things. The 3 degrees are only a few of the various rituals we perform. There is also ritual for the installation of officers, our business meetings, introducing a dignitary, a Masonic funeral, and more. Yes, we do have secret handshakes, like many other fraternities and other organizations. We are selective about who we let join and have a secret ballot, pretty much like any other ballot. It's nobody else's business who got your vote. We have these top secret buildings with a big giant square and compass on them, along with a website, a podcast, and multiple social media pages. All right, maybe I'm being a little facetious on that one. We have been around officially since 1717, but there are records going back much further. Oh, these are all public records in case you want to do any investigation. Some of our most well-kept secret Freemasons were or are John Wayne, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Shaquille O'Neal, Brad Paisley, Neil Armstrong, Ernest Borgnine, Charlie Chaplin, Winston Churchill, and many, many, many more. So you see the point? We are no more of a secret organization than the Elks, Moose, Rotary, Lions, or Kiwanis. We have a motto that we take good men and make them better. How, you ask? Well, I'm not going to say it's a secret, but I would rather tell you in person at lodge. And what you hear from me will be slightly different from what you hear from other Masons. Why? Each one of us has our own experience in this fraternity and take different things from it. Depending on what we take from it affects our perceptions of it. There's no right answer. There's no one answer. There's no wrong answer. There are many answers, and they are all right. Guess that is another one of our secrets. If you come looking for an answer, you may find it, and it may be a completely different one than what you were expecting, or from what the man sitting next to you has found. And for goodness sake, don't tell a single soul. Tell everybody.
Thank you for listening. If you like what you heard, please subscribe and leave us a comment. We enjoy hearing from our listeners. If you really like what you heard, share this podcast with your friends and lodge members. Visit us online at solomonstaircase.org.